Alright, so we're going to continue on building our slab now. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our 3D project. So I already have it open. We're going to go to the top view. 2D. Top. And we're going to go make a slab around our object. So let's go and make it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go play with our global cut plane, which is over here. Let me go put it back to 3D so you see it. Let's go play with our global cut plane, which is at the bottom, right over here. And we're going to go make sure we have the following numbers. We're going to put the 50 for above. You can always change it to any numbers you want. But if you want it to look like mine, this is the same numbers you're going to put. Cut height 10 feet, and below range 3 foot 10. So from the 3D view, you're going to see here we have the settings. Oops, right over here. We changed our global cut plane. So what that did is it kind of cut off the material. I already had it done already once, so it cut it off at the bottom. Press OK, and now you're going to go back to your top view. From the top view, let's go put 2D wireframe. We're going to go and make a slab. So we're going to go press the home button. From the home button, you're going to go use the roof slab, click on it, and then go down to slab. From there, we're going to do the following properties. Projected, yes. Thickness, we're going to leave it 8 inches. Vertical offset 0, horizontal 0. Base, we're going to put it 4 foot 6. To the left and 0. Again, my settings are done because I did it before and then it crashed. So that's why my settings are going to have the exact numbers. Alright? Now that that's done, we're going to go draw a rectangle around our object. So we're going to go here. So what you can do to make sure you have straight lines, you can use the ortho, which is F8. Turn that on. And you can use object tracking, which is F11. And we're going to go make the shape of our building. So we're going to go like we've done before. Let's make sure you pass the actual building. We're going to go from here. We're going to go here. Go up. Go back. Don't go too big. And just make sure. There we go. And press C to close. And like that, we have our slab at the bottom. Press enter. Press save. And now let's go back to our view. Southwest. Realistic. And like that, you see, we have our building. Underneath our building, I don't know why I can't rotate. I have this hand stuck on my, there we go. If I go underneath, you see the foundation's underneath the house, which is exactly what we want. Our driveway lines up perfectly, and our steps are going to our front door. There we go. Now that we have that nice slab, we're going to go press save. So now we can start setting the perspective view with orbit. So like I showed you. So using the view cube, we could go and change the view to southwest. So this is in this corner here. This is going to be southwest isometric. So you could click them using the cube, or you could click them using the icons over here. Whichever you want, you're able to do. You could always orbit using control and the mouse and where is it? Sorry, it's shift and the mouse scroller. You could orbit it, or you could always go to the view tab and go use the icons you have over here, which are going to allow you to orbit, free orbit, and continuous orbit, which are found under here. So it should be next to this one here. No, this is it. Where's my orbit icon? There it is, right over here. So I can do orbit. So now it's going to orbit around. I don't have to click nothing but the mouse. I could go back again, do free orbit. So it's going to go around the axis points like so. And the one that's going to make you sick, and I'm going to do it, is this one here, which makes the house spin constantly. So I can say keep going over and over again until you stop that one from spinning. Good. So let me go back to southwest. There's also the other way to show you is you could go change the views. You could change it from parallel, like you see here, to a perspective view, which you see over here. So as you can see here, we're changing how it looks. The perspective, click on it. Sorry. Parallel. So you notice it looks much better in perspective view. You could have also right-clicked on it. I think also while we are rotating, if I would have left rotate, let's see. While I'm rotating, I do parallel or perspective. By just right-clicking while I'm in the actual command. I could reset the view. I could set the view. I could name the view. You could do so many different things you want to work with. All right. You could zoom in. You could zoom out. You could do what you need for that view itself. Now we're going to go on to setting up the lights by using the sun and sky. So before setting the lights, we're going to go and open up over here. We're going to go under realistic to our styles manager. From there, or there's this way here we clicked, or like everything else, view, the icon right over here activates it as well. So there's one command here. You could type it in the keyboard, or you could just go to the realistic and go to the bottom. From here now, we're going to go set up the background. So right now you notice that if I were to rotate, there's not really a background. Actually, I think I have it on still. No, there's no background. So we're going to go to the settings, and from there we're going to go make sure we click on the realistic. So you can hover over it, but usually it's the third one, and it tells you here realistic. From here now, we're going to go set up the settings. We're going to go make sure that we have backgrounds. It was set to off on your screen. You're going to go make sure you set it to on. All right? So just make sure you have this on. Shadow display, you can even put the shadow on, off. In this case, we're going to leave it off for now. We're going to go back later on and turn it on later at a different time. All right, so once you put background on, you're going to close the setting. From there now, you're going to go to the application menu, and you're going to go use the drawing setup. So drawing utilities, you're going to go touch until we hit drawing setup. So drawing utilities, drawing setup, which is going to open up this piece right over here. So from in here, you see there's a lot of different things we could set here. We could set the precision of our drawing. So if I wanted to make it 1/4 or 1/8, I can. You can see the area, square feet, the angles, the volume, the scales, the layering, the display settings. But in our case here, all we're going to do is we're going to go change, if it's not already set, the lights from generic. You're going to change them back to American. So if your light settings are different, you're going to go check and change it right over here to American setting. Once you're done, you're going to press apply, and you're going to get this pop-up here if you changed it. If you want to see this pop-up, change it to global, change it back to American, and you will get a pop-up saying, do you want to update the configurations? In this case here, you're going to press update to match my changes. Once that's done, you're going to go press the apply and OK button. Okay, just in case it crashes, let's just hit save again, because we're at the point where the computer might not like what you're doing and it's going to crash at any time. We're going to go to our rendering tab, which is right next to the view and annotate. And we're going to go to those settings as well. So we're going to go adjust the settings of the sun and location. Click on the little arrow, and you're going to get this pop-up here. Some of you may get a pop-up saying the lights are being turned on. Because I did this tutorial before and I canceled it, I already had that warning. If you do get a pop-up saying sunlight and light points, make sure you do turn off default lighting. Use the recommended one that pops up. All right? So once you say use the recommended one, we're going to do some changes. For the status, you're going to put it to on. This is the pop-up we had before. So just press turn off the default. This is the pop-up I was talking about. So now it turned off the lights. We're going to turn the intensity from 1, we're going to change it to 0.70. So again, when you're working on your own projects, you could play around with the numbers to get it the colors you like. All right? The color, we're going to leave it at this number. It's okay. We're going to go back to sky and do sky Background illumination, yes. So there we go. We're going to put intensity factor to 0.5. Haze we'll put to 0. The height, we're okay. This is okay. It's sun a calculator. You could change the date here. So if I want to change the date, you could put it today's date. You don't have to put it an old date. If you want to put the date that shows in the thing, put it. But you could put today's date, or let's go put today's. Let's go put July. No, we're not July. We're June 20. We'll do tomorrow. We'll do Thursday because today's an ugly day. Let's do the 27th. Double click and the day's changed. Let's go change the time. Let's go make it 12 o'clock. And there you go. So you have different settings you could change with the time that you want to set. Alright? So all we have left to do is just put the shadows on. So in this case here, you notice our shadows are not on. Because in the older versions, they were here, the button. Now they pushed it out here. See the icon up here? So now the shadows is being pushed out there. So you're going to press close. And you're going to go to shadows and press full shadows. Oops. So my sun is not the best day. I have a little bit of shadow here, you can see. But it's not a sunny day in my in the computer. It's an ugly day. So there's my clouds. Let me just show you, see how it looks quickly. Let me just render. Oops. So it's still black. So we're going to go back to adjust those in a bit. Good. So now that we've set those settings, if you want to change the settings to be the same like the other one, again, we just go back here, get the pop-up, and it's very simple. I could go back here. I could actually change the date. Okay, May, and we'll do 21st. Time, we'll put 1 o'clock. There. And we have the sky on. Perfect. Okay, so the next part here, this is the one I was telling you guys about. It's going to work for some of you, it may not work. It's a geographic location. So what that's doing is you're placing your building on an exact coordinate that you may need. So now we're going to do the geographic location. So from this one here, we're going to go and it's going to show our actual site. So we're going to go back to our render and we're going to go set our location. So we're going to use it from the map. So if it's already pre-made, you can, but we're going to use one from a map. It's going to open up this one here saying, do you want to use online map data? In this case here, you could press yes. It's going to load. And like that, it's usually it'll ask you to log in. I'm already signed in, but it's going to do an Autodesk login. So you're going to sign in. If it works, you'll see this map. If it doesn't work, just move on and skip this part for now. I just wanted to show you guys. But you need to have an Autodesk ID. So here now we're going to go type in a location. So we'll use the one similar to what they have here. We'll go to Miami. And it's going to show you the map. If I wanted to change it up and I wanted to put Montreal, Quebec. Let's do Montreal. I could have Montreal right here. So depending on where you want, you could actually pinpoint and put that location down. So we'll just go quickly use, like I showed here, Miami. All right. So from here now we enter the one location. So we could zoom in and find that plot of land that we want to build on. So we're going to take over this park right over here, okay? You choose what you want, and then when you're okay with it, you could drop the marker. If you want to move the marker, I could go now, and I could grab this corner here and physically move it to another location. I could also right-click and do move marker, and I could say we want to build it over this house right here. Bloop. That's going to be where we're going to put it. I could also be more specific. If I don't want to use that exact location, I could actually write a full address. So in this case here, I could do the one they show, 823 Southwest 4th. So you can actually put a location of where you're building it, assuming that the land is actually empty and it not being used by someone else. So here I put it, drop marker here, and this is the new location of the place. See, there's already a building here, so we'll build it on this baseball stadium. All right, we're going to go now, move this, right click on it, move marker, and we're going to put it right over here. Oops, did I not take it? We're going to move the marker here. All right, this is going to be where we're going to place our building. So you could actually specify here. It gives you the longitude, latitude of where we are, and you could also set the elevation mark. So in this case here, since we're building it on top of a baseball stadium, we could go here, we could change from aerial, you could do roads, you could do bird's eye, street view, whatever you need for your case. If I do road, I think I'm in the park here, so I can't really do road. Let's go back to aerial. All right, so we put the location in. We could set our elevation to 4, the height, and we're gonna go press next. Once you press next, it's gonna ask you to choose the coordinate system. So we're gonna go choose by name. We're gonna go choose the one that's the world. This one over here, the world, right over here. I think it's this one here. We're gonna click on it and press next. See, our time zone is correct. Inches is our units. Press next again. Now it's gonna ask us to place the coordinate in our drawing. So we're gonna grab the corner of our building, which is right over here, and we're gonna go down in the downwards direction. Click, and there's our north arrow. So now our building's being placed on the location. In this case here, it's on the street, but if you had a flat piece of land, it would be placing it on the actual land that you want. All right, you could change the view from aerial to road map. You could change it to hybrid or no map at all, depending on what you want. You could change it. You could remove the location. You could remove it. Let's go move it. There we go. Now we're in the middle of the street. We decided to build in the street. All right. So this is what I wanted to show you. You could change locations. You could set it. So this is something if you want to show the city or where the building is going to be placed, how big it is. This is what you would do for it. Is that clear? So we're going to go remove this location and say yes. And now we're back to normal. Okay, so I just removed it. I just want to show you quickly. For some of you, it may work. For some of you, it may not work, and so forth. So again, some of you notice it's dark. Again, it's because there's no lights. We take off the lights, it goes back to normal. But let's put the lights back on. So now we're going to be rendering our house. So this one comes in a little bit important. See, now the sun's passing. See, it's darker here, but the sun's hitting our back of our building. So we're going to go and we're going to go play with our sun properties. So we're going to go do Control 1, which opens our properties. And we're going to go make sure we actually don't need the properties. Let's turn this one off. And let's turn off this one here. So now we have less things showing on our screen. Let's go choose our view we want. So isometric. A little slow. See, it slows you down. When you start using lights, it's going to slow down your computer. We turn off this grid. Okay, so we have our house. Now we're going to go use our rendering tab again. We're going to go to open up a rendering. And we're going to have the properties to our render. So we're going to go, in this case here, we're going to go set our thing to medium so it doesn't take too long for us to render. But you have overnight quality, which is high quality, coffee break, lunch break. So you have different settings you could do it for your drawing. So I'm going to set it to medium. You could change the render size of the drawing you want. So you want higher quality, lower quality. So we're going to keep it at a basic quality. We have the medium set, render by level, render by time. We don't need to do time. We'll do the draft settings. And we're going to go make a window around it. So let's make a region. And let's just do this region here. Did not select the region. Nope, I did the wrong button there. Let's go, we did region. Let's go press, now that it's all done, let's go press the render button. Now it should ask me where do I want to render. I'm going to render just this piece here. It's so slow. This is what I mean by saving before you do this. And there you go. And it's a fast, this is a on low quality. I just did a region so I don't need to see the rest. And it's copying out. I could have made a region so I see a little bit less, a little bit more. And you should have your render output. So every time you render, we should be seeing it, which I don't see it, which is probably over here. My render window. Did you see the ones that you rendered before? See? I think it's still rendering. No, this is the first one, right over here. See, and if I want to save, I can right click, save copy. This is how you're going to save them later on. So again, it's still doing it. If your computer is crashing a lot, see, it's still rendering our drawing, by the way. If it crashes a lot, you could always do render in the cloud, which is another option. Which what it does is you hit render in the cloud. If you don't have a fast computer at home, it sends it to Autodesk. In a couple of hours, Autodesk will send it back to you done. All right. But again, it's the trial version, so either way, they own the rights to it, but they don't do much with it. Okay. You could go change it to a higher quality. If I do overnight quality, renders for 12 hours. To show you, it's a lot. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to cancel it. And I could do the window, so it takes the whole window, and I could set it. So we're not going to do overnight quality. We're just going to do high quality. And I'm going to just leave it like this. Applies 10 render layers, so it's going to keep rendering until it's a better quality. We're going to go press the render button. And you see here, this is the progress of your rendering as it goes. If I go here, it's going to crash probably. Shouldn't take that long. We don't have that much stuff in this house. Just wait a few. I'm going to pause the video till it's done.